Curse of Oak Island team believes it has found the gold. The Curse of Oak Island finally had what might be its biggest breakthrough on the show. This week, they believe they have finally figured out where the gold at the money pit is buried. This could finally lead them to capture the elusive treasure after all these years. Here is a look at how they found the possible gold and what is next. Curse of Oak Island possibly finds gold. The team from the Curse of Oak Island believes they have finally found their gold. Thanks to their geologist, Dr. Ian Spooner's electronic slide, they believe they have pinpointed where the gold might be buried on the island. As expected, it was near the garden shaft at the money pit. There was a pink blob that showed up on the slide that the guys say shows where a large deposit of gold has been buried. Spooner collected water samples from around the money pit into plastic bottles. This entire procedure was to find out if there was gold in the water and determine where it might be located if there is. From the experiment, Spooner has figured out where the gold is buried. That happens to be just about 10 feet west of the garden shaft. When everyone got together in the war room, Marty asked about the gold. That is when Spooner pulled out a slide with a pink blob, and he said that is where the buried gold is located. What is next for Curse of Oak Island? Now it is time to figure out how they will go about getting to the buried treasure. The good news is that they don't need something as big as the excavation team that they hired to dig down to find hidden chambers. The Canadian government shut down that entire ordeal because they didn't have the proper permits. For this hidden gold, Dr. Dredmichael, the hydrogeologist, explained that the gold was not that deep under the water. He estimated the depth to be somewhere between 80 and 110 feet. This also lines up with previous explorers who found an inscribed stone at 90 feet, which is right there at about the same level. That marker was believed to be a marker for hidden treasure. That previous team had dug down to a platform, but they had to abandon the dig due to flooding. That was in 1804, and Marty and his team have the tools now to get down there and possibly find it without worrying about flooding disrupting their work. It sounds like they plan to start digging for gold ASAP. The dense morning fog lifted slowly over Oak Island, Nova Scotia, as the rising sun cast a golden hue on the ever-watchful swamp and restless shores. For over 2 centuries, this tiny island has captured the imagination of treasure hunters, historians, and skeptics alike. Whispers of buried pirate loot, Templar secrets, and ancient riches buried deep beneath the island's surface have been passed down through generations. But now, after a decade of tireless searching, scientific breakthroughs, and unwavering determination, the Lagina brothers and their team may have finally cracked the mystery. According to a jaw-dropping announcement made on the upcoming season of The Curse of Oak Island, the team believes they've found the long-lost gold treasure rumored to be hidden since the late 1700s. Not speculation, not a theory, real gold, and potentially a hoard unlike anything ever found in North America. A shimmer in the darkness. It's not just another promising signal or anomaly. Rick Lagina says in a preview clip with barely concealed excitement. We're talking about verified physical evidence. The team had been following a new lid in the garden shaft area, where seismic scans earlier in the season revealed an unusual chamber buried nearly 150 feet deep. Marty Lagina, with his ever-pragmatic mind, initially urged caution, but even he now admits this might be the find. After weeks of drilling, sonar mapping, and chemical analysis of soil samples, the team reached a small void. And what came next left them speechless. Gold. Not flakes, not traces, says Gary Drayton, metal detecting expert and longtime team member. Solid gold. Coins, maybe ingots. We're not sure of the quantity yet, but the scanner went off like fireworks on the 4th of July. To verify their find, they'd brought in independent lab experts. Early metallurgical tests confirmed the presence of gold, silver, and other precious metals in concentrations far beyond what could occur naturally in this area. Even more telling, the gold was alloyed with trace elements common to 15th-17th century European coins, supporting long-standing theories that the treasure could be tied to the Spanish or Portuguese empires. The Chamber of Secrets. Once the initial drill hole hit what they believed to be the edge of a man-made vault, Rick made the call. We need to open it up. Over the next few days, heavy machinery was brought in to excavate safely. Cameras were lowered through a borehole revealing stacked stones, what appeared to be rotting wood timbers, possibly from an old support structure, and something shining faintly in the artificial light. The footage, blurred and shaking slightly, captures a moment fans will never forget. A glint of yellow just beneath a collapsed wooden beam. We've been down rabbit holes before, Marty admits. But this is different. The team dubbed it Vault X, a nod to both the unknown contents and its proximity to X10, a borehole they previously explored without success. Initial visual inspection suggests that the chamber is approximately 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, and around 7 feet tall. Large enough to hide a substantial treasure, but small enough to have been concealed from crude 18th century exploration tools. The theories come full circle. This potential discovery is more than just the culmination of the Lajeunesse personal journey. It validates generations of Oak Island legends. Could this finally be the fabled treasure buried by the Knights Templar? Or perhaps part of a pirate hoard secreted away by Captain Kidd or Blackbeard? Historian Doug Crowell thinks it could be even older. Some of the markings on the nearby stones bear a striking resemblance to pre-Columbian Iberian symbols. That suggests the possibility that this gold may have come from shipwrecks or an even more ancient source, smuggled away during a time of upheaval in Europe. And then there's the tantalizing theory that the treasure includes religious relics, possibly even parts of the Ark of the Covenant or manuscripts from the Library of Alexandria. While these claims are often dismissed as fringe speculation, Oak Island has always danced between the historical and the legendary. Doubts and dangers, not everyone is convinced yet. Some skeptics argue that until the treasure is fully recovered and cataloged, it's premature to declare victory. The Oak Island money pit has seen countless disappointments. Flood tunnels, booby traps, and structural collapses have thwarted more than a few treasure hunters over the years. The Lajeunesse are proceeding with extreme caution, using ground-penetrating radar, moisture sensors, and an array of engineering tools to ensure the site is stable. The fear of cave-ins or destroying priceless artifacts looms large. There's no second chance with something like this, says archaeologist Laird Niven. We need to excavate this slowly, carefully, and with full respect for the historical significance. The Nova Scotia government has also been looped in, ensuring proper oversight and heritage preservation protocols are followed. With a find this monumental, there's more at stake than just gold. What comes next? The coming episodes promise the most riveting content yet. Full excavation is underway, and a team has begun constructing a secure shaft to access Vault X without triggering a collapse. Already, small artifacts have been recovered. A rusted hinge that may be part of a treasure chest, fragments of cloth that tested positive for gold residue, and what might be the edge of a ceremonial coin. We might be sitting on the greatest treasure ever found in North America, Gary says, barely able to contain his grin. For fans of the Curse of Oak Island, it's a dream come true. Years of digging, theorizing, and emotional investment finally paying off. For the Lajeunesse and their crew, it's a validation of faith, perseverance, and belief in the impossible. Final thoughts. After 230 years of myth, mystery, and misdirection, could Oak Island finally be ready to give up its secrets? Whether it's a pirate's buried loot, a Templar's divine stash, or a forgotten royal fortune, one thing is certain, the hunt is no longer about what might be down there. Now it's about what is. And soon, the world will know.